I stood outside the Civil Affairs Bureau holding the red divorce certificate. 5 years of marriage over. My ex, Su Ching, the cold CEO, didn't even look at me. Lin Fan, I hope you'll be more down to earth from now on. I shot back. 5 years I slaved for your family, cooking, cleaning, raising our daughter and your parents, and I'm still just a freeloader to you? She replied coldly, yes. I'm fighting in business while you do nothing. The gap between us is too big. We can't even talk anymore. My heart went numb. Fine, I leave with nothing. Tuan Tuan comes with me. You sure? She asked. With me, she gets the best schools. You don't even have a place to live. Our 5-year-old daughter ran over and hugged my leg tight, crying. Suching tried to lure her with food and princess dresses, but Tuan Tuan shook her head. I don't want dresses. I want daddy. Mommy never plays with me or tells stories. Only daddy does. Sujing looked upset, offered me a card with 500,000. I refused. No need. I've got hands and feet. I won't let my daughter go hungry. She sneered. Stubborn fool. I'll give you 6 months. If you can't give Tuan Tuan a decent life by then, I'll take her back through court. My daughter won't have a useless father. She drove off in her Porsche. I carried Tuan Tuan and our old suitcase through the streets. I had less than 2,000 yuan. Her stomach growled. She whispered shyly, Daddy, I'm hungry, but I can endure it. My heart ached. Then a mechanical voice exploded in my head. Gourmet player system activated. It would turn me into a god of cooking. I got the god-level egg-fried rice recipe, super strength, 5,000 yuan, and top ingredients. All the cooking knowledge flooded my mind. I hugged my daughter. Tuan Tuan, let's go. Tonight Daddy will make you the best egg-fried rice in the world. Yay, a big bowl! Night fell in Jiangcheng. I just rented a cheap old bungalow with a small courtyard for 600 a month in a rundown alley. It was nothing fancy, peeling paint and all, but it was clean and I could cook there. Tuan Tuan looked around with her big eyes. Daddy, is this where we live now? My heart twisted. I knelt down and asked gently, Does it bother you that it's so shabby? She shook her head hard, jumped on the bed, and giggled. No, as long as I'm with Daddy, anywhere is good, and there's a yard. I can plant flowers. What a good kid. I swore to myself this wouldn't last long. Her stomach growled again. She blushed and covered it. Daddy, I'm hungry. Don't worry, I'll cook right now. I pulled out the pots and stuff I'd bought, then told the system to give me ingredients. 2 caddies of that special rice and 4 premium eggs appeared out of nowhere on the counter. The rice looked like jade, smelled amazing even raw. The eggs were perfect too. I steamed the rice first, then fired up the wok. With the system's skills, it felt like I'd done this 1,000 times. I cracked the eggs, beat them smooth, poured them in when the oil was hot, sizzle, and then added the rice. 1 perfect flip and every grain got coated in golden egg. Simple, no extras, just top quality rice and eggs. The smell exploded out of the kitchen like crazy. Neighbors started poking their heads out. I plated 2 big bowls. Tuan Tuan ran over, barefoot, drooling. Daddy, can I eat? Go for it, but it's hot. She took 1 big bite and froze, eyes wide. Then she started scarfing it down like crazy, cheeks puffed out. Daddy, this is the best thing ever. Are you a god? I tried it too and damn near dropped my spoon. Insanely good. All the tiredness from the day just melted away. 10 minutes later, the bowls were spotless. Tuan Tuan patted her full belly and burped happily. Daddy, can I eat this every day? Absolutely. I'm going to sell this stuff, make real money, and get us a proper house. I cleaned up, thinking. Normal street fried rice goes for around 10 yuan. I figured 12 to start. But the system dinged. No, this is state banquet level rice and spiritual energy eggs. Minimum 50 yuan per bowl. Don't cheapen it. 50? At a street stall? Sounded insane. But after tasting it, yeah, it was worth every bit. People who know good food would pay. I clenched my fists. Tomorrow we open for business. That night, Tuan Tuan fell asleep in my arms with a big smile after eating the fried rice. I stared out the window at the moonlight and clenched my fists. Su Ching, you think I can't make it without you? Just wait and see. The next morning I got up early, used the system's startup money, and bought a decent second-hand electric tricycle for 1,200 yuan. Then I grabbed a stove, gas tank, bowls, and ingredients. Tuan Tuan sat on the trike in her little hoodie, excited. Daddy, are we selling food today? I'll be the cashier. Yeah, baby, let's go. We set up at the busy university night market, but only got a crappy spot near the trash cans. The fat guy next door selling squid looked at my sign and laughed. Egg-fried rice? For 50 yuan a bowl? Kid, you're dreaming. That stuff sells for 10 everywhere else. With a kid too? Good luck. People gathered, pointed, and mocked me hard. 50 bucks for street-fried rice? This guy's crazy. Tuan Tuan got scared and tugged my shirt. Daddy, why are they laughing? Is it too expensive? I knelt down and told her, Our rice is the best in the world. They'll be begging for it soon. She nodded bravely and shouted, My daddy's food is super delicious. Try it. No one bought anything for half an hour. The fat guy kept smirking. Change the sign to 10 yuan or you won't sell shit tonight. I ignored him. Around 6:30, dinner rush hit. I fired up the stove, poured in the special rice and eggs, and started cooking. The second the wok hit the heat, sizzle, that insane aroma exploded out like a bomb. The fat guy dropped his brush, eyes wide. What the hell is that smell? That insane aroma hit the whole night market like a bomb. 1 second the place smelled like normal street food grease and cumin. The next, this pure, perfect smell of toasted rice and egg was grabbing everyone by the stomach. The fat squid guy next to me dropped his brush and froze. What the hell is that smell? People walking by stopped dead. Holy shit, what smells so good? Heads turned, eyes locked on my little tricycle in the corner. Then this red Ferrari screeched to a stop right nearby. Out jumped Chin Lang, some rich foodie kid everyone recognized. He followed his nose straight to my stall, saw the price on the board, and laughed. 50 yuan for egg fried rice from a roadside stall? Boss, you serious? I didn't stop cooking. Taste it. Your mouth will tell you if it's worth it. He slapped down 100. Fine, I'll try it. But if it sucks, I'm flipping your stall. I served him a full bowl. He took one bite and completely froze. 2 seconds later, he was hunched over, shoveling it in like a madman, burning his mouth but not caring. In under 2 minutes, the bowl was spotless. Chin Lang licked his lips, still hungry, and slammed another 100 down. Another one, keep the change. I shook my head and pointed at the sign. Sorry, 1 serving per person. Rules are rules. He tried to offer double, even triple, but I wouldn't budge. The fat guy next door asked nervously if it was really that good. Chin Lang turned on him. Good? This is god-tier shit. 50 yuan is basically charity. Then he spun around and yelled at the crowd that was watching in shock. What are you idiots waiting for? If you don't buy now, you'll be lining up later. That did it. The whole place exploded. Boss, 1 bowl here. Me too. Scan my code. Suddenly, my quiet corner became the busiest spot in the entire night market. That night, the whole corner of the night market turned into total chaos. Dozens of people were shoving and yelling, waving their phones. Don't push, I was here first. Boss, I scanned it already. I had to shout. Everyone line up. Only 50 portions today, 1 per person, no cutting. Tuan Tuan saw I was swamped and jumped up. She grabbed the QR code sign with her little hands and stood at the front. Uncles and aunties, please line up. Daddy works really hard. Scan here. I'm the little cashier. Her cuteness melted everyone. The first guy, a tired programmer, scanned and got his bowl. 1 bite and his eyes went red. It's so damn good. He actually started crying while eating. It tastes like happiness. The line went crazy after that. Payments kept dinging nonstop. I was flipping wok after wok, sweating but full of energy. Every bowl sold felt like 1 more step toward a better life for Tuan Tuan. The fat squid guy next door just stood there stunned, his stall dead empty. He looked at his cold skewers, then at the crowd fighting for my rice, and slapped himself. Am I dreaming? In under an hour, everything sold out. People who missed out begged me to scrape the pot, or make more, offering double. I shook my head. Sorry, it's really gone. Come early tomorrow. Chin Lang, still leaning on his Ferrari, watched me pack up. He looked impressed. I stuffed the cash in my bag, 2,500 yuan profit in 2 hours, picked up sleepy Tuan Tuan, kissed her cheek, and rode the tricycle home. Meanwhile, in some fancy revolving restaurant, Suqing was having dinner with some rich business guy. She ate expensive lobster, but it tasted like nothing to her. Her mind kept drifting back to me and Tuan Tuan. She thought coldly, Lin Fan, reality will hit you soon. When you can't even feed yourself, you'll come begging me to take Tuan Tuan back. I got home around 9:30, pretty tired even with the system boost. But when I dumped all the cash on the bed and checked WeChat and Alipay, damn, 2,550 yuan total. After costs, over 2,000 pure profit in just 2 hours. I let out a huge sigh. That was my first real money earned on my own, standing on my own 2 feet. Felt good. Tuan Tuan woke up a bit, saw the pile of bills, and her eyes lit up. Daddy, is this enough to buy an Elsa doll? Mommy never got me one. My heart squeezed. Of course it is, baby. Tomorrow Daddy's buying you 10 dolls, new clothes, whatever you want. She jumped around happily before falling asleep in my arms, still mumbling, Daddy, don't drive us away. Tuan Tuan is good. I tucked her in tight. No way were those old days coming back. This was just the start. I'd build us a good life with this cooking. That same night, the university forum blew up with posts about my 50 yuan sky-high fried rice. People were calling it crazy, but the ones who tried it said it was life-changing. Qinlong's reaction helped spread the word. Next morning I woke up early. The system doubled my ingredients. Plenty for 150 bowls today. I got everything ready, dropped Tuan Tuan at kindergarten. She was super happy and showed off her little red flower. Then headed to the night market. When we got there, a long line was already waiting. Boss, I've been here since 4. I couldn't sleep thinking about it. I smiled. Don't worry, I brought enough for everyone today. I fired up the wok, sizzle, and that killer smell spread everywhere again. Just as I was cooking like crazy, some loudmouth with yellow hair and a selfie stick pushed through the line yelling, "Make way! I'm the food blogger Big Mouth Brother Chang, coming through to film." He cut straight to the front thanks to some fan giving up his spot. Then he shoved the camera in my face and started trash talking for his audience. "Look at this dirty stall, family. 50 yuan for egg fried rice? Straight up robbery." I was frying and already annoyed. "If you're not ordering, stop blocking the line." He slapped down 100. "Fine, give me one. If it sucks, I'm exposing you to my tens of thousands of viewers." Tuan Tuan jumped up like a little guard and yelled, "Bad uncle, don't be mean to my daddy. His food is the best in the world." The guy turned the camera on her and smirked about using a kid for sympathy. That was it. I slammed the spatula on the wok. "Put that phone away. Pointed at my daughter again, and you and your phone are hitting the ground." He got scared, lowered the camera fast, and laughed awkwardly. "Just a habit, boss. No problem." I didn't say anything else. Fired up the wok and cooked his portion with extra force, rice flying perfectly in the flames. I dropped the bowl in front of him. "Eat and get lost." He took one bite and froze. Then he started shoveling it like a maniac, completely forgetting his live stream. In under a minute, the bowl was empty. He even licked it clean and burped loud. The chat was going wild with question marks. Finally, he faced the camera, all serious. "Brothers, I came to expose this place, but this is the best egg fried rice I've ever had in my life. 50 yuan? The boss is doing charity. I'd pay 500 easy." The whole livestream exploded. He looked at me with total respect now. "Boss, can I get another bowl?" I shook my head. "One per person. Don't block the line." He didn't argue at all. Stepped aside obediently and kept filming, now hyping me up to his followers like a free promoter. Business exploded tonight thanks to the blogger's livestream. The line stretched across half the night market with security keeping order. We sold all 150 bowls in under 2 hours. I hung up the sold out sign. People groaned but left, promising to come earlier tomorrow. I checked my phone. 7,500 yuan that night. 10,000 total in 2 days. Felt great. "Tuan Tuan, let's pack up. Daddy's taking you to KFC." I smiled. "Yay, big chicken leg," she cheered, helping with the stools. Just as we were closing, trouble showed up. A bald thug named Zhao Long and his guys blocked the tricycle. He was the local bully who collected fees. "Business looks good," he sneered, stepping on my wheel. "Time to pay 5,000 sanitation fee." I pulled Tuan Tuan behind me. "I already paid the stall fee. I'm not paying extra." His face darkened. "New here, huh? Maybe your cart doesn't leave tonight." His boys crowded in with a steel pipe. Tuan Tuan hugged my leg, crying, "Daddy, I'm scared." That pissed me off. "Last warning, get lost." He ordered them to smash everything. One swung the pipe at the tricycle. I kicked hard. The guy flew 5 meters into a trash can. Everyone froze. I stepped forward. "Want to smash my stall? Go through me first." Zhao Long and his crew backed off in fear. Sirens hit just in time. The blogger had called the cops. They hauled the thugs away. I hugged Tuan Tuan tight. "It's okay, baby. Bad guys are gone." That night, I became the night market legend and the hardcore dad online. The video spread everywhere. Across the city, Suqing saw it on her phone. She couldn't believe the tough guy protecting our daughter was the same Lin Fan she knew. She got angry that I'd taken Tuan Tuan there, but seeing how much our girl trusted me, she hesitated. That night, the police wrapped everything up fast. The blogger's clear livestream proved Zhao Long started the fight, tried to extort me, and came with weapons. It was pure self-defense on my part. They already had thick criminal records, so the cops hauled them away in handcuffs. Tuan Tuan waved cutely at the police car. "Goodbye, officers." The young cops melted and told me, "Call us next time, Mr. Lin." But damn, that kick was impressive. I smiled. Just practice to protect my kid. After they left, the whole night market cheered. The other stall owners were thrilled. Zhao Long had bullied them for years. The fat squid guy slapped my back. "Little Lin, we're brothers now." Big Mouth Brother Chang came over grinning. "Brother Lin, that kick was insane. My stream hit 100,000 viewers. Can I come tomorrow?" I nodded. "Just queue up like everyone else." Back home, after Tuan Tuan fell asleep, I checked the system. Ding. Hidden achievement. First taste of success. It gave me a new recipe, Chankan tea egg. plus spiritual spring water and a new task: sell 1,000 portions in 3 days for a god-level soup dumpling recipe. Tea eggs at 100 yen each. Crazy price, but after the fried rice success, I was confident. Next day, the internet blew up. The video of me kicking the thug went viral. Hashtags about fried rice brother and hardcore dad were trending hard. Lots of girls were screaming about how handsome I looked. In the afternoon, Suching's best friend Shenman burst into her office waving her phone. Ching ching. Your ex is internet famous now. The 50 yuan fried rice guy. People are queuing up like crazy. I'm going tonight. Suching looked annoyed. Go if you want. I'm not interested. But after her friend left, Suching stared out the window, irritated. Turned his life around with fried rice? Keep dreaming, Lin Fan. That evening when I arrived at the night market, I was shocked. The line was massive, 200 or 300 people easily. They cheered when they saw me. He's here. Fried rice brother. I parked and hung up the blackboard. Under the usual text, I added a new line. Chankun tea egg, 100 yen each, 1 per person. The crowd lost it. $100 for 1 egg? Boss, you're crazy. People started complaining and some even turned to leave. Shenman, Suching's best friend, was in the crowd taking photos and smirking. She sent one to Suching right away. Then Qinlang came running, all sweaty, pushing through everyone. Boss, 2 fried rice, please. He saw the new sign and yelled, 100 for a tea egg? Even you're going too far. Everyone piled on, agreeing with the rich kid. I stayed calm, just kept cooking. Young Master Qin, same as before. Taste it first. Your mouth will tell you. I lifted the lid on the big pot. A massive wave of incredible tea and herb aroma exploded out. Qinlang froze mid-sentence, eyes wide. The smell hit him so hard he started shaking. Suddenly he grabbed my arm, yelling, I take it all back. Give me one. No. Give me everything. I'll buy the whole pot. He tried to drag the pot away. I held the lid down. Rules are rules. 1 per person. He begged to pay more, but I wouldn't budge. I scooped 1 perfectly marbled tea egg, handed it over, and told him to eat while waiting for the rice. Qinlang peeled it fast and bit in. 1 chew and his face changed completely. Mmm! He swallowed and just stood there stunned as the warm energy spread through his body. Holy crap, he muttered, looking completely blown away. Qinlang stared at the last half of the tea egg, looking completely shocked. He looked up at me like I was some kind of wizard. Boss, what the hell did you put in these eggs? I feel like I could fight a bull right now. I just smiled and didn't explain. The system's tea eggs were no joke, especially for a rich kid like him whose body was wrecked from partying. His reaction lit a fire under the whole crowd. Suddenly everyone was shouting, I want one too! Give me an egg! Phones came out and QR codes started scanning like crazy. Suching's best friend Shenman had been watching from the back with a smug face, but now she looked stunned. She muttered something about exposing me, then squeezed to the front. 1 fried rice and 1 tea egg. She scanned 150 yen and gave me a snooty look. Lin Fan, I have very high standards. If this isn't worth it, I'm complaining. I recognized her immediately, the one who always badmouthed me to Suching. Oh, Miss Shen. Complain if you want. No tables here, though. You'll have to stand or squat. She got mad, but eventually stood there eating like everyone else. She tried the tea egg first, acting all critical. 1 bite and her whole face changed. She tried to fight it, but soon she was stuffing the rest in her mouth like a starving hamster, cheeks puffed out. Then she attacked the fried rice, shoveling it down super fast by the trash can, completely forgetting her fancy image. 5 minutes later, she was staring at the empty bowl, burping, looking totally dazed. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from Suching asking if she'd exposed my fraud yet. Shenman stared at Suching's message, fingers hovering. She glanced at me working the stall and felt weird. I looked way more confident than the pushover she remembered from the Su family days. She gritted her teeth and typed back, Ching Ching, you're right. It's all artificial crap and MSG. Tastes greasy and fake. Then she shoved her phone away, feeling guilty but justifying it to herself. A minute later, she pushed back to the front, arms crossed. Lin Fan, the taste is mediocre. Pack me 2 more fried rice and 2 tea eggs. I'm taking them home to feed the dog. I didn't even look up from the wok. 1 per person. You already ate. She exploded. I'm trying to do you a favor. I'll take it to go. Rules are rules, I said calmly. Come early tomorrow if you want more. She slammed 1,000 yen on the table. 1,000 for 2 servings. Keep the change. The crowd booed her hard. Who do you think you are? Even young Master Qin couldn't buy extra. I finally looked at her. Don't block the customers. She turned bright red, grabbed her money, and stormed off in her high heels, yelling that I'd regret it. After she left, the stall went nuclear. Everyone wanted tea eggs. I'll pay double. My girlfriend needs it. The line was insane. Tuan Tuan stood on her stool holding the QR code, smiling sweetly. Thank you, uncles and aunties. Be careful, it's hot. We sold out the tea eggs in 20 minutes. I hung the sold out sign and people groaned like it was the end of the world. Boss, you're killing us. Sell us the soup at least. I apologized while packing up. Sorry, this is the daily limit. Come early tomorrow. That night, I rode the tricycle home with Tuan Tuan. Back at the apartment, I finally relaxed and checked the system. System, settle today's earnings. When I saw the number, my heart skipped a beat. That night, I checked the phone and damn near dropped it. WeChat, 12,500. Alipay, 6,800. Cash, 1,200. Total, over 20,500 yuan in one night. Less than 4 hours of work, almost pure profit after costs. I looked at the crappy ceiling and couldn't stop smiling. Su Qing, you never saw this coming. The useless freeloader you threw out just made 2 months of normal salary in a single day. Daddy, Daddy! Tuan Tuan was stacking the bills into a little mountain on the bed, eyes sparkling. Are we rich now? I scooped her up and kissed her chubby cheek. Yes, baby, you're gonna be a little rich girl. Tomorrow Daddy's taking you to the mall for new clothes, a big Elsa doll, and whatever you want to eat. She cheered and hugged me tight. We laughed together in that tiny room, and for a moment everything felt perfect. I didn't get carried away, though. I checked the system. I'd sold 200 portions toward the 1,000 needed for the next big recipe. At this pace, soup dumplings were only a few days away. The internet blew up that night. Videos of Chinlang going crazy for the tea egg and that rich girl stuffing her face went viral. Hashtags about fried rice bro and 100 yuan egg god were everywhere. People were calling me all kinds of things online. Next morning I woke up early, full of energy thanks to the system. Tuan Tuan was still sleeping, clutching that red 100 yuan bill like treasure. I kissed her forehead. You won't suffer anymore, baby. Daddy's gonna give you the best life. I took her to the mall. She hugged that giant Elsa doll like it was her best friend, proudly telling everyone, my daddy bought it. He sells eggs and makes lots of money. I bought her new clothes, snacks, and good fruit, too. Seeing her smile so big made every second of hard work worth it. After that, I sold the old tricycle and bought a used wooling van for 12,000. It had space for ingredients and would keep us dry if it rained. Tuan Tuan bounced in the passenger seat. Daddy, we have a big car now. Tuan Tuan won't get wet anymore. I grinned and started the engine. Buckle up, baby. We're getting supplies. Tonight, Daddy's going all out. But not everyone was happy. While I was setting up that evening with a huge crowd already waiting, some manager named Zhou Qiang and a bunch of his security guys showed up blowing whistles. Move aside, everyone disperse, no gathering. People whispered, that's the crooked boss of the night market. Zhou Qiang walked straight up, tapped my bucket with his baton, and sneered. So you're the one making 20 grand a night with this sky-high crap? I put down the knife and pulled Tuan Tuan behind me. What do you want? He pulled out a notebook and listed fake violations, overpriced food, bad hygiene, blocking traffic. We're sealing your stall. Pay 50,000 fine and you can get your car back. The crowd exploded. 50,000? That's robbery. We all ate here and we're fine. Zhou Qiang barked at them to shut up, then leaned in and whispered to me, you don't want your daughter seeing you dragged away, do you? Tuan Tuan started shaking and crying. Daddy. I patted her head gently. Close your eyes and cover your ears, baby. Daddy's cleaning up some trash. I turned back to Zhou Qiang, voice cold. 50,000 fine? Take my car? What if I say no? He smiled nasty, turned on his body cam, and waved at his guys. Tow the car away. They hooked up the tow rope and started pulling. 1, 2, lift. I walked to the front, grabbed the bumper with one hand, and held the whole wooling van in place like it was nothing. The 3 big guys pulled with everything they had, faces red, shoes sliding, but the car didn't move an inch. I smiled at them. Are you guys even trying? Didn't you eat? Zhou Qiang was furious and pulled out his phone. You're resisting law enforcement. I'm calling the cops. Before he could dial, Chinlang pushed through, snatched the phone, and casually ate a tea egg. Manager Zhou, since when can you just impound people's cars? Zhou Qiang tried to act tough, but Chinlang dropped the bomb. This whole night market is run by my family's company. You're just a hired dog. Who gave you the balls to bark here? Then Chinlang called his manager on speaker. Fire Zhou Qiang immediately, check his accounts, and hand him to the police. Zhou Qiang went pale and collapsed. The crowd cheered like crazy. Chinlang turned to me with a big grin, all arrogant attitude gone. Boss Lin, how'd I do? Can I get 2 extra tea eggs? I'll pay 10 times the price. I laughed and gave him 2 from the bottom of the bucket. These are on the house, but tomorrow you still line up like everyone else. He took them like treasures, beaming. Boss is the best. The mess with Zhou Qiang ended quick. The crowd got even more hyped after Chinlang stepped in. Everyone now knew I had skills in the kitchen and some serious backing. No one was going to mess with the stall anymore. In the car, Tuan Tuan watched me work through the window. She hugged her Elsa doll and whispered, Daddy is amazing. While I was frying rice, the system dinged in my head. Ding, hidden task completed, rising fame. Reward, soup dumpling recipe unlocked early. I grinned and kept cooking. Soup dumplings. Finally. This was going to be huge. Next morning I was up at 6, full of energy. I pulled out the new recipe, crab roe soup dumplings. The system ingredients were top tier. Special mountain pork, perfect flour, and real crab roe aspic. Way more luxurious than normal ones. I got to work. Kneaded the dough until it was smooth as jade, minced the filling, mixed in the golden crab roe cubes that would melt into soup when steamed. Then I wrapped them. Thin wrappers, exactly 18 pleats each, looking like little white flowers. Tuan Tuan woke up and peeked in. Daddy, are you playing with clay? So pretty, I laughed. This is breakfast, baby. Soup dumplings. Go brush your teeth and you can try them. I steamed the first batch. 10 minutes later, the smell hit like a bomb. Rich crab roe and pork aroma flooding the kitchen, even stronger than the fried rice. Tuan Tuan stopped brushing, foam still in her mouth. Daddy, it smells so good. I lifted the lid. The dumplings were perfect. Translucent wrappers showing the filling and golden soup inside, plump and heavy but not breaking. I put one in a bowl, blew on it, and taught her the proper way. Lift gently, move slowly, open a little window first, drink the soup, then eat the rest. She watched wide-eyed as I bit a small hole. Golden soup flowed out. I sipped it and damn, it was incredible. Rich, savory crab roe broth coating my mouth, followed by the perfect chewy wrapper and juicy filling. Pure bliss in one bite. Tuan Tuan's eyes sparkled. Wow, Daddy, I want to learn too. She tried to copy me and bite a little hole in one, but she bit too hard. The thin wrapper burst and hot golden soup splashed all over her face. Woo-hoo! Hot! She wiped her face, then licked the soup from the corner of her mouth. Her eyes went wide. Wow! Daddy, it's so sweet and fragrant. Better than milk. She forgot about crying and stuffed the whole leaking dumpling into her mouth, cheeks puffed out, face all shiny. So yummy. Even better than the egg-fried rice. So fresh. I couldn't stop smiling watching her devour it. These crab roe soup dumplings were on another level. I asked the system the price. It said 666 yen per basket of 6. I raised an eyebrow but decided, fine, we're going high-end. Sell them for 666. That afternoon at the night market, the crowd was huge as usual. But when I hung up the new sign, golden crab roe soup dumplings, 666 yuan per basket, 1 per person, people lost their minds. What the hell? 666 for 6 dumplings? That's over 100 each. Boss, you're crazy. This is straight robbery. A bunch of customers got angry and started leaving. The line shrank fast. Some were already filming the sign to complain online. Shenmon was hiding in the crowd, all disguised in baggy clothes, cap, and mask. I could tell it was her. She looked smug, probably texting Suqing about how I'd screwed up. Qinlang came up too, twitching at the price. Boss, you serious? Do these make you immortal or something? I just said, top-tier crab roe. Honest price. Then I fired up the steamer. The moment the steam started rising, that insane, rich crab roe aroma exploded through the whole night market like a bomb. It was way stronger than anything before. Everyone who was walking away suddenly froze. Shenmon's hand stopped mid-text. The whole crowd turned at once, sniffing the air like they were hypnotized. The whole crowd went dead quiet for a second, just sniffing like crazy. Slurp? What the hell is that smell? The bald guy who was cursing me a minute ago suddenly had his eyes glued to the steamers. It smells like 100 hairy crabs crawling into my mouth. That crab roe aroma hit everyone like a truck. Golden, insanely fresh. It bypassed your brain and went straight for your stomach. Shen Man, hiding in the crowd, all disguised, swallowed so loud the person next to her turned around. I could tell she was fighting it hard. Then the stampede started. People who were leaving ran back. Boss, give me 1 basket. I'll take it even at 666. The line reformed instantly, even crazier than before. Qinlang sighed and joined them. Fine, I knew it. Give me 10 baskets. I shook my head. 1 per person? Rules are rules. Finally, Shenmon made it to the front, cap low, mask up, trying to sound different. 1 basket to go. I recognized her immediately but didn't say anything. Just packed a hot steamer with some ginger vinegar and took her money. She grabbed it and ran off like a thief. A bit later, I saw her hiding under a tree, lifting the lid. The smell hit her and she was done for. She tried to act like she was just verifying for Suqing, but soon she was devouring them one after another, moaning, almost crying from how good they were. She even licked the box clean at the end. Then her phone buzzed. Suqing asking how it went. Shenmon froze, looked at her empty box, then at my still busy stall, and typed back a bunch of lies. It's disgusting. Total scam. Someone threw up. It smells like dead crabs. Don't come here. She convinced herself she was protecting Su Ching and muttered, tomorrow, I have to be first in line. That night, the night market went absolutely nuts over the soup dumplings. Even at 666 yen a basket, people lost their minds. The smell alone turned the whole crowd around. We sold out all 50 baskets in under half an hour. Some guys even started bidding the last one up to 1,000 yen. I packed up and drove home with Tuan Tuan. Back in the apartment, I dumped the cash on the bed and checked the phone. Fried rice, tea eggs, and those dumplings brought in 64,500 yen total. After costs, over 60,000 pure profit in one night. I lay back, staring at the ceiling, smiling like crazy. Suging, you have no idea. Your useless ex just printed more money in one evening than most people make in months. Tuan Tuan stared at the numbers with big eyes. Daddy, so many zeros. Did we move the bank home? I pulled her into a hug and kissed her head. This is real, baby. This is Daddy building a future for you. We're moving into a big house soon, one with a huge kitchen so I can cook even more good stuff for you. She lit up. Yes, big kitchen for Daddy. My heart felt full. What a good kid. The internet exploded that night. Everyone was talking about the 666 yuan dumpling assassin. Some people who tried them raved about how incredible they were, but most who hadn't eaten were cursing me, calling it a scam and an IQ tax. I just laughed. Keep cursing. The louder you scream now, the harder you'll praise it later. Next morning, Su Ching was sitting at her fancy breakfast table, but she couldn't eat. She was scrolling through all the angry comments and the message Shenman sent her full of lies about how disgusting and toxic the dumplings were. It made her furious and scared for Tuan Tuan. She wanted to rush over and take our daughter back, but then she remembered how hard Tuan Tuan had cried and begged to stay with me. At the same time, her company's big IPO and an important trip to Switzerland were happening. She had to focus on business. She took a deep breath, pushed it down, and told her assistant she was ready to leave. Meanwhile, Shenman got the message that Su Ching was gone and basically threw a little party on her sofa. Yes, now I can eat openly. She dressed up nicely, drove her fancy BMW to the night market, and froze. The line was insane. Hundreds of people, scalpers selling spots, even old ladies with folding stools. It looked like a concert. She tried to push through, but an old lady with a red armband stopped her and pointed to the end of the line hundreds of meters away. Shenmon's face fell. Instead of waiting forever, she pulled out 1,000 yen and bought the old lady's number 3 spot. She walked straight to the front, holding her expensive bag, looking all proud. I had just parked the van and was unloading when I saw her. Tuan Tuan was sitting nearby in her new dress, drawing a picture of our future big house with a giant kitchen full of dumplings. I smiled and praised her. That's a great drawing, baby. That evening, Shenman showed up at the stall all dressed up like she was going to a fashion show. She slapped her scalper ticket on the table. Boss, 1 basket. I looked up and couldn't help teasing her. Miss Shen, not feeding the dog today? She got red in the face. None of your business? My dog has a big appetite. Can't he eat 2 baskets? I shook my head. 1 per person. Rules. She tried bargaining, even offered double, and said she could help watch Tuan Tuan. I still refused. She finally huffed and paid for 1. She didn't run off to hide this time. She grabbed a stool and sat right next to Tuan Tuan, eating openly. Tuan Tuan recognized her and called her Auntie Shen. Shenman pinched her cheek and grumbled about how Tuan Tuan never appreciated the toys she used to buy. Then she bit into the dumpling and melted. She sat there swinging her legs like a happy kid, completely forgetting her fancy image. While she was eating, some scalper trouble started at the back of the line. This sharp-faced guy named Rat and his buddies were cutting in and bullying a college student who had been waiting forever. I slammed the ladle against the bucket, clang, and the whole place went quiet. What's going on? I looked straight at Rat. He tried to act friendly, slapped money on the table, and ordered a big batch for takeout. Boss, big order. I didn't touch the money. I pointed at the student. He was in front of you. Take your cash and leave. My stall doesn't sell to scalpers. Rat got mad. You're turning down money? And that rich lady over there bought a scalper spot too. Why'd you sell to her? Discrimination. Shenman, who was happily eating nearby, almost choked. I glanced at her, then looked back at Rat with a cold smile. She's just stupid and willing to waste money. That's her business. Now get lost. The crowd cheered loud. I called the student over, gave him a free basket of dumplings plus a tea egg, and told him to study hard and come earlier next time. After that, things calmed down. Shenman finished eating, then walked over acting all important. Lin Fan, I have a proposal for you. She offered me a job as her private chef. 30,000, then up to 50,000 a month with benefits. She thought she was doing me a huge favor. I almost laughed. I pulled out my phone, showed her today's earnings, 58,500 yen, and said, "Miss Shen, you bad at math? I make more than that in one night. You think I'd quit being my own boss to cook for you?" Her face turned bright red. She was so embarrassed she grabbed her bag and ran off again, yelling, "Just wait." Later that night, while driving home with Tuan Tuan dozing in the seat, I told her, "Baby, Daddy's taking you to look at a new house tomorrow, one with a big kitchen and a big bathtub where you can swim." She woke up excited. "Yay, no more mice." I gripped the wheel tighter. "Yeah, no more mice. Time to get my daughter a real home." Next morning, I skipped prep and took Tuan Tuan to a real estate agency. I wanted something close to her kindergarten, safe, and with a big kitchen. The agent showed me a 200 square meter Riverview apartment at Jinmao Mansion. Fully furnished, perfect kitchen. Tuan Tuan ran around excited. "Daddy, it's huge. I can ride my bike." I didn't haggle. 15,000 rent, half a night's work. Paid and arranged cleaning so we could move in that day. That afternoon, we settled into the bright luxury apartment. Tuan Tuan rolled on the big sofa, laughing. I stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. "Suqing, I used to live like this on your charity." This time I earned it myself. Just the beginning. Next morning, I watched the city wake up while Tuan Tuan slept like a starfish on the huge bed. From moldy basement to one of the best neighborhoods in days, still felt surreal. But I stayed focused. Street stall is profitable but not sustainable. Bad for Tuan Tuan, limited production, endless trouble. Suqing will use it against me in custody fights. So stall is step one. Next, open a real high-end shop, build my own brand. First, perfect these signature dishes and make the name famous. Tuan Tuan woke up messy-haired and ran to the kitchen. "Daddy, breakfast?" "Soup dumplings," I smiled, working the dough. She watched in awe. Daddy's hands do magic. That evening at the night market, the line was massive, twice as long, wrapping around the block, full of luxury cars and serious foodies. I set up and hung the sign. Golden crab, roast soup dumplings, 666 yen per basket, limited 50. The crowd groaned at the limit. "Still only 50? Boss, you're crazy." "Everyone, it's not that I don't want to make money. These dumplings take hours to simmer the crab roe jelly, knead the dough, and wrap by hand. I'd rather do fewer and keep the quality perfect than rush and ruin the taste. 50 baskets is my limit. That's my promise to your taste buds." The crowd went from complaining to respecting it. Real craftsman spirit? Shenmon showed up again, disguised but still obvious, holding an expensive scalper ticket. She sat next to Tuan Tuan and devoured her basket, moaning in bliss. Sorry, Ching Ching. The sugar-coated bullets are too strong." Just then, engines roared. Qinlang pulled up in his Ferrari with a group of rich second-gen friends in luxury cars. They walked over bragging. Qinlang pointed at my stall. "Told you, this place has the absolute best in Jiangcheng." One of his friends, old Zhao, looked skeptical. "Come on, better than my family's Michelin chef? For 666 yen at a roadside stall? You've been brainwashed." He pushed to the front and ordered a bunch of everything. "My treat today. Let these guys see what real food tastes like." They ended up squatting on the curb like everyone else. Old Zhao, whose family owns the fancy Junyue Hotel, took one bite of the soup dumpling and froze. Then he devoured it, eyes wide. "Boss, are you using real Yangcheng Lake Crab King roe? This is insane." 10 minutes later, all their bowls were empty. Old Zhao stood up, handed me a serious business card, and made a big offer. Executive chef at his hotel. 2 million annual salary plus 5% of the catering department profits. I could set my own hours and menu. The whole crowd gasped. That was an offer nobody would normally refuse. I looked at him calmly and shook my head. "Thank you for the offer, General Manager Zhao, but I'm used to being my own boss. One day I'll open my own place that can stand next to yours." Zhao was stunned for a second, then laughed. "You've got real ambition. Even if the deal doesn't happen, we're still friends. When you open your shop, I'll send the biggest flower basket." Shenmon, sitting nearby eating, looked completely shocked. The 30,000 salary she'd offered me earlier now seemed like a joke. Later that night in Switzerland, Suqing finished her meetings and checked her phone in the hotel room. Even though she'd blocked most news about me, something still popped up. That night, Suqing was in her Swiss hotel room, exhausted from meetings. She checked her phone and saw a Moments post from young master Zhao Tianyi, the heir to the fancy Junyue Hotel. He posted pictures of my soup dumplings and wrote that the best ones in Jiangcheng were at a little night market stall, not his own hotel. He called it top tier, worth queuing for, and said the 666 yuan was completely worth it. Suqing's hand shook. She knew Zhao was super picky and rarely praised anyone, but then she remembered Shenmon's messages calling my food disgusting fake crap with dead crabs and flies. She got confused and angry, but finally convinced herself her best friend wouldn't lie. "Lin Fan, what tricks did you use to fool even Zhao Tianyi?" Back home, after selling out and packing up, I drove Tuan Tuan, who was dozing off like a little bird, to our new apartment. She looked so peaceful sleeping. I kissed her forehead. Tuan Tuan, Daddy promises you'll never suffer again. Next morning in our bright luxury place, I stood by the huge window looking over the city, while Tuan Tuan slept like a starfish on the giant bed. From damp basement to this in just days, still felt like a dream. But I stayed focused. The stall is good for now, but I need to open a real shop soon. Build something big. Tuan Tuan woke up and ran to the window. Daddy, we're living on the clouds. The boats look like toys. I picked her up and laughed. Yeah, because you're my little princess. Daddy will give you any castle you want. She hugged my head, giggling, then patted her belly. The giant is hungry. I made egg-fried rice with the system ingredients. We ate at the big marble table with the river view. Tuan Tuan swung her legs happily, rice on her face. Daddy, I want to live here forever. I wiped her mouth, smiling. As long as you like it, we will. Just then, the system dinged in my head. Ding. New periodic task. Own your first physical store. Open a real shop within half a month. Reward, God-level renovation card, and a mysterious recipe. I grinned. Perfect timing. Exactly what I was thinking. Street stall is good for now, but a proper shop means better environment for Tuan Tuan, more customers, and less trouble. That renovation card would save me a ton of time. Accepted. While we were enjoying breakfast, trouble was brewing online. Some clout-chasing blogger called Brother Truth dropped a video accusing my 666 yuan dumplings of being full of fake crab essence, additives, and cancer-causing stuff. He claimed I had no qualifications and was poisoning people. The video blew up fast. Tons of people who hadn't tried it started sharing it, cursing me as a scammer. The ones who actually ate my food tried to defend me, but they got drowned out. In Switzerland, Suqing saw the post and the blogger's claims. She already believed Shenman's lies about my food being toxic. This pushed her over the edge. She messaged Shenman that she'd sue for custody the moment she got back, saying I was willing to poison my own daughter for money. Shenman was still half asleep on her sofa when she saw the message. Her face went pale. She knew the blogger was full of shit. She'd eaten the dumplings herself, and they were amazing. But now Suqing was completely convinced. She panicked. This is bad. If Suqing takes Tuan Tuan away, Linfan will lose it. After pacing around, she grabbed her keys. I have to warn him, even if it means admitting I've been lying. That evening, the atmosphere at the night market felt off. The line was shorter, people were whispering and pointing, and a few small influencers were live-streaming nearby, calling my dumplings cancer-causing buns. Tuan Tuan noticed the unfriendly stares and got nervous. Daddy, why are they looking at us like that? I smiled and carried her out. It's nothing, baby. Maybe Daddy's too handsome. Shenman suddenly screeched up in her red BMW, jumped out in a panic, and grabbed my arm. Lin Fan, big trouble. The whole internet is saying your dumplings are poisoned with fake crab essence and cancer-causing additives. That blogger Brother Truth is leading the charge. You need to clarify fast, show invoices or something. I stayed calm, glanced at the video on her phone, and just shook my head. I don't have invoices. Shenman freaked out. Then how will you prove it's safe? This could ruin you. I looked her in the eyes. Do you believe me? She hesitated, then nodded. I've eaten it. I know it's real crab roe. That's why I rushed here. That's enough. I took a piece of red paper and wrote a bold announcement in big characters. Today's statement. To clear my name, I will prepare everything live on site. If anyone finds even one drop of fake essence or illegal additives, I'll pay 10,000 times compensation. This Wuling van and the entire stall will be given away on the spot. The crowd erupted. He's betting his car? That's some serious confidence. Shenman stamped her foot. Lin Fan, are you crazy? That's your new car. I didn't answer. Instead, I opened a fresh box of ingredients in front of everyone, including the live streamers. The moment I lifted the lid, a clean, fresh mountain aroma spread out. I took out a large piece of Black Mountain pig front leg meat. It was a deep ruby red with perfect snow-white marbling, glistening like a work of art under the lights. The whole place gasped. Is that even pork? A guy in a lab coat, Brother Truth himself, pushed forward with cameras and testing gear. Good meat as a front. The key is the aspic. Show us that crab roe. I opened the second box. A rich, golden crab roe aroma exploded out. I took out a bowl of amber-like aspic, crystal clear with visible roe particles and crab paste. Brother Truth sneered and started testing for synthetic pigments. He dripped reagent into a sample. The whole crowd held their breath. 1 second, 2, 3. The golden liquid didn't stay bright or turn cloudy like he predicted. Instead, it slowly faded into a natural oily color with fine red particles settling at the bottom. Brother Truth's hand started trembling. Suddenly, an old, strong voice cuts in. This is the natural reaction of real astaxanthin and crab roe. It's Professor Lu, big food safety expert from Zhangcheng University. Everyone's shocked he showed up. The professor walks over, shakes his head at Brother Truth. Young man, if you don't know your stuff, don't embarrass yourself. This proves it's pure natural crab roe, no additives. Synthetic stuff would have turned to mush. Brother Truth's face goes purple, sweat pouring. He stammers it's a coincidence and tries another test, claiming there must be thickeners and preservatives. I stand there, arms crossed, and tell him coldly, test if you want, but these ingredients are expensive. What you waste might cost more than your monthly salary. His hands shake. Meanwhile, the crab roe aspic starts melting naturally from the steam, golden oil sliding down. Classic real fat behavior. I shove the bowl under his nose. Still need to test? He breathes in that rich smell and gulps loud, right in front of everyone. The crowd explodes laughing. Shenmon starts it, then everyone's yelling, "Body's honest!" And even the fake exposer is drooling. Brother Truth turns red, totally humiliated. His career persona is wrecked. I take the bowl back. Spreading rumors for clicks is your shitty character, but don't insult my food. Ingredients are a chef's dignity. I point at the pot. Since you love testing, I'll show you how these 666 wanbaozi are really made, and today I'll do extra 50 steamers. I tune out the crowd and cameras, slam the dough, roll wrappers crazy fast. 1 per second, perfect every time. Professor Lu's eyes widen in shock. Then I fill and pleat. 18 neat folds, classic Crucian carp mouth, smooth as art. People are going wild in the chat, saying the skill alone is worth every yuan. No need for fakes when the craft crushes everything. This internet clown, Brother Truth, stood there like an idiot after I finished the dumplings. I steamed 50 of them quick, put the basket on the stove, and cranked up the heat. I wiped my hands and looked at him coldly. Done testing? If not, keep going. But if you are? I pointed at the 1 fake, 10,000 compensated sign. The result's clear. Brother Truth panicked. His detector showed 0 bad stuff. Everything was perfectly clean. Sweat poured down his face. He mumbled something about expired reagents and tried to pack up and run. Stop! Qinlong stepped out in his pink suit with bodyguards, blocking him. He tapped Brother Truth's face with his fan. Trying to run after smearing, Boss Lin? You were loud about cancer earlier. Now you're mute? Brother Truth's legs went weak. Qinlang sneered. I've been eating these for days. You cursed me to die. Should we ban this traffic-chasing clown who slanders honest shops? The crowd roared. Yes, apologize. Brother Truth dropped to his knees and cried into the camera. I'm sorry, Boss Lin. Everyone, I was greedy and talking shit for views. The dumplings are perfect. Please let me go. I glanced at him like a worthless fly I already swatted. I checked the time, killed the fire, and opened the steamer. That rich crab roe aroma exploded and silenced everyone. I took 1 perfect quivering dumpling to Professor Liu. Sir, thanks for speaking up. Please have the first one. Professor Liu bit in, sipped the golden soup, and his eyes lit up. Wonderful. Fresh, rich, divine crab roe. Best soup dumpling I've had in 70 years. That sealed it. The crowd went wild. The line exploded for hundreds of meters. People shouted, "Give me a steamer, I'll pay double." All the rumors vanished. Shenman watched me get mobbed, looking stunned. She took my photo, her heart racing, probably wondering what Su Qing would think seeing this. This internet clown's apology plus Professor Lu's best in the world verdict ended the cancer bun drama, but it kicked off total madness at my stall. People lost their minds. Boss, 1 steamer, I'll pay 2,000. They pushed and shoved like crazy. The 100 limited crab roe steamers sold out in under 10 minutes. Those who missed out grabbed tea eggs and fried rice instead. Payment alerts were beeping nonstop like a dance track. I stayed calm behind the counter, sweating but plating everything perfectly. Professionalism matters. Professor Liu finished his bun, wiped his mouth, and looked impressed. He gave me his business card with both hands. Young man, Liu Zhengming here. Your skills are supernatural. Call me if you need help with ingredients or anything, and open a proper shop soon. I'll bring my friends. I thanked him and saw him off. Nice old guy. Nearby, Shinmon sat with an empty steamer basket, looking guilty and satisfied. She'd devoured the whole thing. I teased her. Miss Shen, did you find any death warrants in there? She choked, face red. It was just okay. I was only inspecting for hidden additives. Then she mumbled a warning about being careful since tall trees catch the wind, hopped in her BMW, and sped off. By 9:30, everything was sold out, even the tea egg soup. I closed up and headed home with Tuan Tuan. That night, I checked my phone. 83,000 yuan today. Crazy money, but the roadside stall had clear problems. No license, hygiene complaints, traffic chaos, and it looked bad for getting custody of Tuan Tuan. I decided, no stall tomorrow. Time to find a real storefront. Cash on hand was already near 300,000, so it was doable. Next morning, I kept Tuan Tuan home from kindergarten. She asked curiously while putting on shoes, "Daddy, no buns today?" I smiled, picked her up. "Nope. Today Daddy's taking you to buy a big toy." Then we drove off in the Wuling to scout locations. This internet clown's drama was over, but now I had a clear goal. Phoenix Gold Street near the university town. Prime spot with huge foot traffic and rich customers. Rent was crazy expensive, but with my skills and the system, I wasn't worried. I drove there with Tuan Tuan, spotted a perfect 2-story antique building at the corner. Great location, big space, ready kitchen. Sign said it was for transfer. This was it. "Looks pretty, right, Tuan Tuan? Like an ancient pavilion. We'll buy it and make it our new shop." She clapped happily. I called the number. 10 minutes later, landlord Wang showed up in his Audi. He saw my Wuling and Tuan Tuan, and his attitude went cold. Annual rent $1.2 million, transfer fee $800,000, no installments. $2 million total. Steep, but I could earn it back fast. I was about to negotiate when a white Range Rover cut me off aggressively. A fat guy in a floral shirt and gold chain jumped out. President Zhang. He ignored me and barked at Wang. "Old Wang, I said I wanted this shop for my Dawei Hot Pot branch. Bring cash today. Let's sign." Landlord Wang instantly turned super friendly to him, then looked at me apologetically but mostly snobby. "Sorry, Mr. Lin, President Zhang is an old friend with a big chain. Better credit. Why don't you check the cheaper Malatang place down the street?" Zhang sneered at me. "Kid, this isn't for you. Driving that crappy Wuling to Jin Street? Take your daughter home and drink milk. Don't embarrass yourself here." Classic rich asshole move, but I wasn't about to back down. This fat asshole President Zhang and landlord Wang started bullying me right in front of Tuan Tuan. She got scared and hid behind me. I stayed calm and told landlord Wang, "Business is first come, first served. I saw it first. Isn't switching it unfair?" Zhang laughed like it was a joke. "In Jiangcheng, I make the rules. Can you cough up $2 million right now? If yes, I'll leave. If not, shut up." Landlord Wang waved me off like a fly. "Stop wasting time. President Zhang has cash. If you can't pay, leave." Tuan Tuan tugged my shirt, eyes red. "Daddy, they're mean. Let's go. I don't want the big toy anymore." I crouched down, stroked her head, and said gently, "Don't worry, baby. Daddy promised. If this one's taken, we'll find an even better one." I picked her up and walked away, ignoring their insults behind us. Next door, I noticed a crappy, unfinished shop blocked by a massive transformer box. Terrible feng shui, almost invisible to passersby. But I thought, my food smells so good it doesn't matter. People will follow the aroma even past a mountain. Still, with only under 300,000 cash, I couldn't afford the rent and fixes. Pity, it could have been gold. Let's look somewhere cheaper. I turned to leave with Tuan Tuan when the previous owner, a desperate middle-aged guy named Old Liu, ran out barefoot, chasing them. He grabbed Zhang's sleeve, begging, "President Zhang, you rented the big shop. Please take my small one too. Use it as storage or private room." Zhang shook him off in disgust. "Old Liu, what are you doing? Trying to scam me? You think that dump deserves to connect to my high-end hot pot place? It'd drag down my whole image." Old Liu begged like a desperate dog, offering the shop for dirt cheap because his 8-year-old son was in ICU with leukemia and needed money for a bone marrow transplant fast. He dropped from 300,000 to 250,000, kowtowed hard enough to bleed his forehead, and cried his heart out. Zhang laughed in his face. "Even for 5,000, I wouldn't touch this unlucky coffin of a shop." He kicked a soda can at Old Liu and told him to get lost. The crowd just watched. Nobody wanted that dead shop blocked by the giant transformer box. I'd had enough. I stepped forward with Tuan Tuan in my arms and said calmly, "Boss, can I take a look at this shop?" Old Liu looked at me like I was his last hope. He scrambled up, grabbed the rusty keys, and yanked open the roll-up door with a horrible screech. Dust and damp air poured out. Zhang and landlord Wang mocked me hard. Poor Wuling driver matching a dead shop, a perfect pair. I ignored them, put Tuan Tuan down, and walked in holding her hand. It was dark and gloomy thanks to that huge transformer blocking the entrance. "Scared, baby?" "Not afraid. It's like an adventure cave," she said excitedly. I turned on my phone flashlight and looked around. The space surprised me. Inside it looked narrow at first because of the transformer, but damn, it opened up huge. Over 120 square meters, super high ceiling, solid structure, back door for deliveries. Hidden gem. Tuan Tuan ran around excited. "Daddy, it's like a castle," I told Old Liu straight. "I'll take it." He couldn't believe it, warning me about the dead zone. I smiled. That transformer is exactly what I like. Keeps things quiet. I transferred the full 250,000 right there. His phone dinged and he broke down crying, kowtowing again. I helped him up. "Hurry to the hospital for your son. Keep the keys for now. Sign later when he's okay." He grabbed the keys, shoved them in my hand, bowed deep, and ran off like crazy, shoe flying off. Landlord Wang suddenly got polite, calling me a hidden master. Zhang turned green. Spat some more crap about me throwing money in a coffin and swore if I lasted 3 months he'd write his name backwards. Then he stormed off in his Rover. I just smirked as they left. Going out of business? Sorry, I've got to cheat. This spot's gonna print money once the smell hits the street. This fat Uncle Jong scared Tuan Tuan when he drove off yelling. She hit on my shoulder. Daddy, he said our new place is a coffin shop. Is it bad? I patted her head gently. Don't listen to that jealous idiot, baby. He's just mad Daddy got a real treasure. She looked around at the dark, dusty mess and the ugly transformer box, totally confused how this could be treasure. I carried her inside, pulled down the shutter, and checked the place again with my phone light. 120 square meters, crazy high ceiling, solid bones, but it was a wreck. No water, no power, peeling walls, musty smell. Tuan Tuan hugged my leg. Daddy, it's so dark and full of spider webs. I crouched down. Close your eyes, baby. Daddy's gonna do a magic trick. Count to 3 and open them. This place will turn into the most beautiful castle. She covered her eyes excitedly. I called the system and used the God-level renovation card, picking the elegant Chinese peach blossom spring style. It fit perfectly with the hidden narrow entrance. Golden light flashed. In seconds, everything transformed. Bluestone path, elegant walls, warm lanterns, a little Jiangnan garden with a stream and koi, solid wood tables, a cozy loft, and a top-tier open kitchen. The musty smell vanished, replaced by nice sandalwood and bamboo. Tuan Tuan opened her eyes and gasped. Wow, Daddy, it's like a fairy place. There are fishies. Are you a fairy? I grinned, satisfied. System stuff is always perfect. This contrast, noisy street outside, peaceful paradise hidden behind the transformer, was going to blow people away. I sat in the master chair and settled the mission. The system gave me infinite firepower mode for opening day, unlimited ingredients and endless stamina for 24 hours, plus a new recipe, God-level supreme clear broth beef brisket noodles, snow-yak brisket, century-old clear bone broth, perfect chewy noodles. That rich, savory smell is going to pull people in from blocks away. This is exactly what I needed to crush it on opening day. Daddy, what are you smiling at? Tuan Tuan asked, still staring at the fish. Over the next days, Zhang made a huge noisy show next door. Gongs, firecrackers, workers drilling nonstop. Big banners for his fancy Dawei hot pot. He bragged about spending millions on Italian designers. My shop stayed quiet with the shutter down. Zhang and landlord Wang laughed that I must have regretted the $250,000 and run away. At the night market, everyone cheered when I showed up. I wrote on the blackboard, relocating to Phoenix Gold Street next to Dawei Hot Pot in 3 days. Last 3 days here. Same prices, new shop even better with AC and seats. The crowd went wild, but when they heard it was the dead shop with the giant transformer box, they worried. Feng Shui is terrible. Previous businesses all failed. I smiled while cooking. Feng Shui depends on who runs it. In my hands, even a dead shop will thrive. And Saturday, I'm launching beef brisket noodles that'll hook your soul. That hyped them up even more. Then Shenmon arrived in her red BMW, saw the blackboard, and freaked. Are you crazy? That place is blocked by a huge transformer. No one goes there. Did you get scammed? I handed out fried rice calmly. I know. Paid only $250,000. Since you're worried, come Saturday. Here's a VIP pass. First bowl of beef brisket noodles is yours, no line. She gulped, still acting tough. Who wants your noodles? I'm just coming to watch you go bankrupt. Then she folded the pass carefully and went to play with Tuan Tuan. This fat Uncle Zhang scared Tuan Tuan. She hugged Shenmon's arm and whined. Tuan Tuan wants a big chicken leg for me and one for Daddy. Shenmon melted and agreed instantly. Then a flashy red Ferrari roared in, drifting behind her BMW. Qinlang hopped out in his studded jacket and sunglasses, twirling his keys. Yo, Miss Shen, he teased. She snapped back. If you want buns, line up like everyone else. Qinlang glanced at the blackboard and freaked out just like her. Boss Lin, you're moving next to Dawei Hot Pot? That dead shop with the giant transformer box? Did you get scammed? Even my old man said it's terrible feng shui. That fatty Zhang's been calling you a sucker on his feed. Shenmon snorted with laughter. I stayed calm, handed Qinlang some fresh dumplings, and gave him a VIP flyer. Whether I'm a sucker or not, you'll see Saturday. Come try my new supreme clear broth beef brisket noodles. Yak brisket, century-old clear broth. Only I have it. Qinlang gulped hard, worry gone. Fine, I'm in. Plus that fatty Zhang invited me to his opening too. Hee. Over the next 3 days, I kept the stall going with smaller portions to build hype. Everyone swore they'd come to the new shop Saturday. Zhang next door went all out. Huge arch, flower baskets, drum troupe, bragging nonstop while mocking my silent, shuttered place. Saturday morning on Phoenix Gold Street was chaos. Zhang's Dawei Hot Pot opening was loud as hell. Gongs, drums, firecrackers, red carpet, flower baskets everywhere. He stood there in a tight red tang suit, hair gelled like a helmet, waving and greeting guests like a big shot. Landlord Wang grinned beside him. They both looked over at my quiet shop with the shutter still down and smirked. Compared to this, that place next door is just... This fat Uncle Zhang was out there making a huge scene with his hot pot opening. He stood on the microphone bragging and mocking my quiet little shop next door. That greenhorn who rented the dead shop with the transformer box, he's probably too embarrassed to show his face. His heavy, spicy beef tallow smell blasted everywhere, trying to pull people in. Inside my place, it was peaceful. Calm Guqin music, Tuan Tuan and her cute Hanfu feeding the koi by the stream. I stood in the open kitchen, completely unfazed. His heavy oil trick was low-level crap. Real food doesn't need to shout. At 9:05, I lifted the lid on the century-old master stock I'd simmered for 3 days straight. Boom. That rich, clear beef brisket aroma exploded out like a silent palm strike. Deep, meaty wildness from Snow Plateau yak brisket, rich bone marrow sweetness, and perfect herbal notes. Warm, nourishing, and insanely penetrating. It poured straight past the transformer box and hit the noisy street outside. Zhang was mid-speech when he froze, nose twitching. The drum guys stopped drumming. Everyone started sniffing hard. Holy crap. What smells so good? My move. Time to open for real. This fat Uncle Zhang was out there making a huge scene with his hot pot opening. Hostesses started sniffing hard. Old folks in line turned their heads. What smells so good? It's coming from next door. The pungent hot pot smell suddenly felt cheap and gross. Everyone started gulping. One chubby guy ditched his queue number. Screw the eggs. I need whatever that is. Half the line broke and rushed my way like sharks smelling blood. Zhang stood there on the red carpet, face turning purple, yelling in panic. Even he started sweating and drooling against his will. The first chubby customer pushed past the transformer box, stepped inside, and froze at the beautiful Jiangnan garden and stream. Holy crap, this is a noodle shop? He shouted, Boss, give me whatever you're selling right now. I smiled calmly from the open kitchen and pointed at the menu. Crab roe dumplings, 666 per basket. New supreme clear broth beef. Brisket noodles, 188 per bowl. Egg fried rice, 50. He barely blinked at the price. 1 supreme noodles. Now. Paid instantly. I boiled the special noodles for 30 seconds, ladled the crystal clear amber broth, added tender red and white yak brisket chunks, and topped with green garlic. Looked like art. He took the bowl with shaking hands, stood by the stream, and slurped the soup. His eyes widened like he got hit by lightning. This fat Uncle Zhang was panicking hard as half his line ditched the free eggs and rushed toward my shop because of the beef noodle smell. He grabbed the mic yelling it was all fake shills and chemical tricks, trying to lure people back with a rice cooker prize. Then a roar of engines hit the street. A convoy of supercars rolled up, red Ferrari leading, followed by Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, Aston Martin. Everyone stopped to stare and take photos. Zhang lit up like an idiot, fixing his hair and suit. They're here. That's young Master Qin from the Qin group and his rich buddies I invited. This is real status. He ran down the red carpet beaming, hands out to greet them. Young Master Qin, President Zhao, rare guests. The big private room is ready for you all. Qin Lang stepped out, wrinkled his nose at the heavy tallow smell, and fanned the air with his sunglasses. Cough. What's this choking, low-quality beef tallow stench? Move aside. You're blocking the good fragrance. Zhang froze. Smile stuck on his face. Young Master Qin, our entrance is right here. Qin Lang looked at him like he was dumb and walked straight past him, right into my shop. The rest of the rich second gens followed without a glance at Zhang's place. Zhang stood there like a slapped clown, face turning purple again. This fat clown, Zhang stood there like a statue, hands still out, totally stunned. Qin Lang didn't even look at him. He waved to his buddies. Brothers, this is the place, and walked straight past Zhang into my shop. Young Master Zhao and the rest of the rich second gens followed without a glance at the fancy hot pot place. Shenman then roared up in her white BMW, jumped out, and shoved past Zhang, too. Lin Fan, where are my supreme beef brisket noodles? You better have saved some. That was it. The whole crowd lost it. Even the rich kids are going in there? Let's go. They ditched Zhang's 50% off and free eggs, swarming past the transformer box into my shop. His fancy opening turned into a ghost town in 2 minutes, just firecracker trash and a lonely red arch left. Zhang looked like he was about to faint on the red carpet. Inside, Qin Lang and the guys stepped through the narrow entrance and froze. Holy crap. Boss Lin, did you smuggle a whole Suzhou garden in here? Zhao Tianyi was impressed. That transformer box actually works as a perfect barrier. Genius hidden spot. Shenman slammed her VIP pass on a table by the stream. Lin Fan, serve the noodles. I skipped breakfast for this. I smiled from the open kitchen. Plenty for everyone today. I boiled the special creamy yellow ice spring noodles for 30 seconds, coiled them perfectly in the bowls, ladled the crystal clear amber broth, stacked 5 big, tender red and white yak brisket pieces on top with green garlic and goji berries. Each bowl looked like a damn painting. Miss Shen, young Master Chin, everyone, dig in. This fat clown Zhang was left screaming on his empty red carpet, slashing prices and begging people not to leave. Nobody cared. That rich beef aroma had everyone hooked. Inside, Shenmon grabbed her bowl first. So hot! So fragrant! She cooled her ears but couldn't look away. Qinlang and young Master Zhao dug in right away. Qinlang shoved a big piece of brisket in his mouth and froze, eyes wide. Then he slammed the table. Holy crap! This beef is insane! It's dancing in my mouth! Shenmon rolled her eyes at him but tried it herself. One bite and she melted, humming happily. This soup! How is it better than my dad's expensive pu'er tea? The rich second gens went wild, slurping like they'd never eaten fancy food before. Zhao Tianyi finished his bowl and sighed. 188 yuan? At my place this would cost 888 plus service. Boss Lin, you're basically doing charity. I just smiled while cooking nonstop. As long as you enjoy it, that's what matters. Truth is, 188 was smart pricing. The 666 dumplings made these look like a steal, perfect for regular high-end lunches and fast volume. Outside, it was total chaos. The line for my shop snaked past Zhang's place, blocking him in. People were pushing and yelling to get in. Even landlord Wang ditched him and snuck into my queue, pretending he was checking out the enemy for Zhang. Zhang smashed the mic on the ground in rage, face purple, screaming about what love potion I gave everyone. Poor bastard watched his million yuan opening turn into a complete joke while my place packed out. This fat clown Zhang was left screaming on his empty red carpet while my shop went nuts. Qinlang leaned back full and satisfied, snapped a photo of the empty bowls with the garden behind them, and posted on Moments. At Lin's shop on Phoenix Gold Street. The hot pot place next door is banging drums and giving away eggs, but it's not worth one sip of Boss Lin's noodle soup. Hurry up if you're coming. This place might start charging by the second soon. That post blew up instantly in his rich second-gen circle. Everyone started sharing it. Professor Liu even liked it and commented he'd come that afternoon. Suddenly, half of Jiangcheng's rich kids were driving over in their luxury cars. By evening, the street looked insane. Zhang's fancy hot pot place was a total tomb. Empty tables, solidified grease in the pots, wilted flower baskets, and a sagging inflatable arch. His Cheongsam hostesses were bored playing games on their phones. Right next door, my shop was absolute chaos. The line stretched forever past his entrance with rich kids in Porsches, office workers in suits, and old folks all waiting together. Scalpers were back, auctioning queue spots for 500 to 1,500 yuan right in front of Zhang's place. Zhang sat inside, gripping a teacup so hard his knuckles went white, watching people pay big money just to wait for my noodles instead of eating his half-price hot pot. He kept muttering they were all lunatics. A waiter nervously asked what to do with the prepared food that was about to spoil. Zhang exploded, smashed the cup on the floor, and yelled, "Throw it out! You think I'm going to eat it myself?" He was gasping like his heart was about to burst. 5 million down the drain on day one. All those slaps to his face from people ignoring his shop and flooding into my coffin shop next door. Poor bastard was living his worst nightmare. This fat bastard Zhang Dewei completely lost it watching from his empty hot pot place. He saw Qinlang helping carry plates like a waiter and even Shen Man wearing an apron at my cash register, laughing and chatting with me. That broke him. He muttered with pure hatred in his eyes, "You won't let me live? Then don't expect an easy time either." He called some thug named Lazzy and arranged for him and 2 guys to come mess up my shop tonight, make it look like the noodles were dirty so my reputation would die and the place would get shut down. He paid them 10,000 up front in a back alley and promised 20 more after. Lazzy patted the stuff in his jacket and grinned. "Leave it to us, Boss Zhang." Half an hour later, Lazzy and his boys blended into the huge line outside my shop, pretending to be hungry customers. The smell hit them hard. That rich bone broth aroma was driving them crazy, making them swallow and drool despite themselves. But they tried to stay focused. The line was moving slow as hell. They started worrying they wouldn't even get inside before I sold out. Zhang wanted results tonight, or they'd have to return the money and get yelled at. While they were stressing, that scalper rat showed up again, waving some queue numbers. He leaned in mysteriously. "Gentlemen, in a hurry, I've got top 10 spots. Skip the wait and go straight in. Want them?" Lazzy's eyes lit up and he grabbed the guy's wrist. "How much?" They grabbed the numbers and finally stepped inside. The beautiful garden inside shocked them for a second. Shen Man took their order at the counter. No nonsense. 3 supreme beef brisket noodles, 188 each. Lazzy winced at the price, but paid. They got seated in a perfect dim corner spot hidden from the kitchen and cameras. Everything was set. They were just waiting for the right moment to do the dirty work. Qinlang brought the bowls over himself. The second those noodles hit the table, clear amber broth, perfect yak brisket pieces, creamy noodles, green garlic. The smell exploded. All three guys froze, eyes locked on the bowls, gulping loud. Lizzie told himself they'd just take a couple bites to blend in. We're here to do the job, but we gotta make it look real. Eat. All three grabbed their bowls at the same time like they'd lost control. All three of them forgot everything. They slurped like starving refugees, eyes rolling back, moaning with every bite. The noodles, the meat, the rich soup. It completely owned them. Lizzie finished his bowl, leaned back, satisfied, then suddenly froze. The cockroach was still in his pocket. They'd eaten everything and forgotten the whole plan. Panic hit. Order another round, quick. They called Qinlang over, waving cash. More noodles, money's no problem. Qinlang just pointed at the sign. Sorry, 1 bowl per person. Shop rules. Lizzie freaked out, yelling and demanding more, even offering triple price. Everyone stared. I walked out from the kitchen, calm as hell. Rules are rules. If you're still hungry, there's a supermarket outside. Want to cause trouble? I pointed at the cameras and the security guys at the street entrance. Jin Street patrols are right there. You sure you want to sit in a cell over noodles? Lizzie looked at me, then at Qinlang's half-smiling face and all the phones recording, and knew it was over. They slunk out like beaten dogs, having paid for 3 bowls and accidentally hyped how addictive the noodles were. Outside, Lizzie kicked a can in rage. This isn't our fault. Those noodles are inhumanly good. No one could resist that shit. This fat bastard Zhang Wei was pacing like a madman in the dark alley behind his dead hot pot shop, chain-smoking and going crazy listening to the massive crowd at my place. He kept checking his watch, sweating bullets. Finally, Lizzie and his 2 idiots showed up looking like they'd lost a fight. Zhang rushed over, grinning. How'd it go? Did you ruin him? Was there screaming? Did the cops show up? Lazy looked down, ashamed as hell. Boss Zhang, there was a small accident. We got in, but it didn't work. Zhang's face twisted. What the hell do you mean it didn't work? I paid you 30,000. Lizzie muttered miserably, still smacking his lips. The noodles were just too damn delicious. We were going to drop the cockroach halfway through, but the smell hit us and we couldn't stop. We ate every last drop. Then we tried ordering more to try again, but the shop has a strict 1 bowl per person rule. They wouldn't sell us extra even for triple price. We almost got thrown out. Zhang stood there speechless for a second, then exploded. You ate it all? I sent you to sabotage him, not to be his damn food critics. He ripped off his shoe and started beating them with it like a lunatic. Give me my money back, you useless pigs. Eat until you die. The 3 ran off screaming while Zhang roared in the alley, kicking and cursing. 30 grand wasted, and they even paid for 3 bowls that helped my business. He leaned against the wall, panting, half dead from rage. But then a nasty idea hit him. He sneered and muttered, Too delicious? No normal food does that. You must be using poppy shells or some illegal chemical crap in the soup. He pulled out his phone and called his buddy Section Chief Liu at the Food and Drug Administration. Voice all fake friendly at first, then urgent. Section Chief, I'm reporting under my real name. That new noodle shop next to me, Lin's shop, strongly suspect they're adding poppy shells or worse stuff. The customers act possessed, can't stop eating. You need to come inspect right away. This is a serious public safety issue. He hung up with a cold smile. A dead cockroach might not kill you? Fine. Let the government shut you down instead. Even if they find nothing, the inspection and closure will kill your hype. While my shop was still packed at 8:30, 2 enforcement vans with sirens screaming pulled up right in front of the line. Section Chief Liu from the Food and Drug Administration marched in with his team, and that clown Zhang was right behind him acting like a snitch. Section Chief Liu, this is the black shop, Zhang yelled loud enough for everyone to hear. I'm reporting them for adding poppy shells and illegal crap to the soup. The whole place went dead quiet. Diners froze with chopsticks in the air, faces turning pale. Poppy shells? No wonder it was so addictive. Panic started spreading fast. People were dropping their bowls and looking sick. Zhang kept fanning the flames. For your health, stop eating. That soup is poison. Qinlang got pissed and almost jumped him, but Zhao Tianyi held him back. I walked out of the kitchen, calm as hell, patted Tuan Tuan so Shenmon could take her upstairs, then looked at the chief. Go ahead and inspect. Rules are rules. Section Chief Liu seemed surprised I wasn't panicking. He ordered his guys to test the soup base for everything. Papaverine, morphine, codeine, nitrites, heavy metals, the works. Zhang was stretching his neck, sweating, and praying the strips would change color so I'd get shut down and arrested. The testers did their thing on the spot. A few seconds later, Papaverine, negative. Morphine, negative. Codeine, negative. All heavy metals and residues way below normal, actually cleaner than pure water. Superior grade. Boom. The whole shop exploded in relief and then anger. False report? This fat pig tried to screw Boss Lin just because his own place is dead. Zhang's face turned the color of pig liver. His big gotcha moment completely backfired in front of hundreds of people. This fat bastard Zhang Dewei looked like he was about to have a stroke when the first tests came back clean. He lost his mind, yelling, "There must be something. He hid the poppy shells at the bottom of the big pot. Or it's some new undetectable crap. Search everything. Turn the kitchen upside down." Section Chief Liu looked annoyed, but told me they needed to do a full search to clear suspicions. I just shrugged, untied my apron, and stepped aside. Go ahead, but what if you find nothing? Zhang kept screaming they'd definitely find evidence. The chief finally told him to shut up and stay outside the line. His team went into my open kitchen with gloves and kits, checking every corner, the soup pot, seasonings, everything. The whole shop went dead quiet. People were nervous, even though they trusted me. Then Professor Liu, who'd been eating quietly by the stream, stood up and called out, "Zhang Guo?" The chief turned, saw his old professor, and immediately got respectful. "Professor Liu, what are you doing here?" Professor Liu smiled and pointed at his empty bowl. "Came for good food, but Zhang Guo, you're making quite a scene." He looked at me, then back at the chief. "As someone who's been in food for 40 years, I ate the whole bowl. This soup is pure, rich, natural, brewed from top ingredients and real skill. No poppy shells, no chemical junk. I'd taste any bitterness or off notes immediately." He glanced toward Zhang and added pointedly, "Sometimes reports aren't about justice. Don't let yourself be used as a tool against an honest chef." Section Chief Liu broke into a cold sweat. He finally saw what was going on and looked at Zhang with disgust. "Teacher, don't worry. I'll handle this fairly." Right then, his team came out. "Section Chief, inspection complete. Nothing illegal anywhere. The kitchen is spotless, cleaner than an operating room. All ingredients are premium. Soup is completely clean and exceeds standards." The crowd exploded in cheers and applause. Everyone turned on Zhang. "False report! This fat pig tried to screw Boss Lin out of jealousy." The chief slammed the report into Zhang's chest and chewed him out hard for malicious reporting and wasting their time. Then he announced they'd inspect Zhang's hot pot place tomorrow, too. Zhang's legs gave out. He knew his filthy kitchen would get him fined into bankruptcy. The officers dragged him away while he screamed and begged. After they left, the chief apologized to me politely and said they'd post the clean results online as official clearance. Professor Liu helped calm everyone down. Business went even crazier. Pure revenge eating. People were yelling for more noodles to calm their nerves. Later, the system dinged. Morsti, unbreakable golden body achievement unlocked. Reward, primary bad luck, sticker. I smiled and told the system, use it on Zhang Dewei. That greedy bastard wanted to play dirty? Fine. Let's see how much bad luck he enjoys for the next 24 hours.